So here's the deep squat stretch, and it involves placing your feet farther than shoulder width apart, squatting down comfortably, and bending over and putting both your elbows on the insides of your knees there, and it helps to press out and open up your hips a little bit more. But we like to do it, you can either do both at the same time or do one at a time, where you'll see me that I'm leaning over with one shoulder forward, pressing out my knee with one side. And I like to hold that for about 10 to 15 seconds and then alternate to the other side. Here we have the deep lunge stretch, and this is honestly one of my favorite ones. I try to do this after every single cardio workout I do. But it involves first kneeling down on one knee, and try to find someplace comfortable because it hurt a little bit when I was filming this myself. But lean down on one knee, and with the other leg, prop yourself up like I am right there, and you're going to lean forward. And when you're leaning forward, it's going to be stretching out the hip and the quad on the leg that's kneeling down behind you. And you want to hold that for about 15 seconds, but on this one it's okay to go a little bit longer. You want to feel it out, feel what your body needs. But try to hold it for about 10 to 20 seconds, I'll say, on both sides. Here we have the deep lunge stretch, and this is honestly one of my favorite ones. I try to do this after every single cardio workout I do. But it involves first kneeling down on one knee, and try to find someplace comfortable because it hurt a little bit when I was filming this myself. But lean down on one knee, and with the other leg, prop yourself up like I am right there, and you're going to lean forward. And when you're leaning forward, it's going to be stretching out the hip and the quad on the leg that's kneeling down behind you. And you want to hold that for about 15 seconds, but on this one it's okay to go a little bit longer. You want to feel it out, feel what your body needs. But try to hold it for about 10 to 20 seconds, I'll say, on both sides. Okay, next we have is the inner thigh stretch, and what would you know? We're stretching out the inner thigh. So it involves going down on one knee, and then with the other leg, you're going to sprawl it out to your side, fully extended, balancing on the side of your foot. And we're going to be putting our hand on our hip to our upper outer thigh, and we activate this stretch by leaning down with our hip or pressing down with our hand. It's a more gentle stretch to do by pressing down with your hand, but you want to always feel it out with your body and try to hold it for about 10 to 20 seconds and do it on both sides. This stretch is called the figure 4 stretch or the pisiform stretch. And this one's really good for stretching out your hip and your IT band. So to do this one, it involves laying down on your back, keeping one leg bent with that leg's foot flat on the ground, to start at least, and then with the other leg, you're going to bring it over the first leg, placing your ankle on the back of the first leg's knee there. And with the first leg, you're going to be raising it off the ground, and that's going to be stretching out the hip and the IT band of the second leg, or the leg that's raised resting on your first leg there. And you're going to hold this for about 15 to 20 seconds. I really like this one. I think this is one of the better ones. And so sometimes I like to hold it for even 30 seconds. But as always, feel out your body and just experiment and see what's right for you. Next we have the single leg hamstring stretch. And this one involves first laying on your back on the ground. Try to find someplace that's comfortable for you. You're going to go one leg at a time. Hold it up, stretching out the back of your leg hamstring. and you use both your hands there, and you can grab behind your knee or your ankle or your calf there depending on your flexibility. I'm not super flexible, so I like to go right behind my knee there. And the other leg, also depending on your flexibility, you can keep it lying on the ground or you can keep it bent, whatever's comfortable. But you really don't want to force this one. You want to work with your body and you just want to feel it out, pressing as far as you feel comfortable. Support it there with your hands and hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds on both sides. Next we have the spinal twist stretch, and this one's really good for stretching out the lower back and for preventing some back injury. So how to perform this stretch: you first of all lay on the ground, then lift up one leg bending at the knee, and you fold over, bringing your leg over the other leg just staying on the ground, trying to get your knee to the ground, but it's not required. Just go as far as your body will let you go. And it's important to keep your upper torso straight, flat on the ground while doing this. This forces the lower back to get stretched. Try to hold this for about, I would say, 20 seconds, and then perform on the other side. Next stretch we have is the side lying quad stretch, and this one really blasts the quads after a tough workout, so it's a pretty good one. It involves laying down, laying on your side, and you can use your arm to support you so you don't have to just rest your head on the ground. And we're going to be stretching one quad at a time. You're going to keep your legs together, and you're going to be grabbing your ankle with one of your hands, helping you to pull your leg up to your butt there, and it acts to stretch your quad out. It's a pretty simple stretch, but it's pretty good and it's injury preventative, which was what we're aiming for here. All right, next we have the butterfly stretch. This one's used to stretch out the inner thighs and the hips. To perform this one, you sit on the ground, having both your legs in front of you, bend at the knees, and go to the point where your feet are touching each other in front of you. Pull your feet as close as you can to your waist, and then with your hands go around holding both your feet and bend at your lower back. And this serves to activate the stretch in the lower hips and the inner thighs there. Really good. Try to hold it for about 20 seconds.